I just think they didn't do nothing to the game. In my opinion, what they should have just did with the game was just took it, gave it a patch, and roll with it. Versus creating an entire new game that people are gonna spend $60 on and get the same story, same gameplay, same abilities.
Like, I understand that you're trying to make this more oriented into the multiplayer part. It's just, if you're gonna do a story mode, at least make it more original than the first one. The first one was pretty good. It's just, I wish you just...
The first one was good, and that's why I bought it. But I mean, if I was gonna buy the second one, and it was gonna be the exact same game, the exact same storyline as the first one,
it literally is.
I could have kept my money.
You basically go in there, you stop people from changing time, you start helping out Goku a couple of times. Just, they're more in-depth with some of the enemies that you run into. They don't just skip ahead to the main villains. Like, you'll just go in there, you'll fight Zarbon and Dodoria. You'll probably start running into other side characters like Nail. That kind of stuff. It's just...
The storyline is always going to be the same, and that sucks. Like, screw it. If they was going to do anything, they should have just... If they was going to do anything, they should have just took Dragon Xenoverse 2 and start playing off the Dragon Ball Super Saga. You know what I'm saying? Versus doing the exact, starting back from the very beginning. Is what I'm saying. Like, I've been watching Dragon Ball Z for a long time. I know the story of Dragon Ball Z. I don't want to, every time I buy a Dragon Ball Z game, I gotta play the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z. I've seen that shit on TV. DVDs.
I have played almost all the Dragon Ball Z games, all the way from Budokai on the PlayStation 2.
And they all run the same story. It's never nothing original. Like, you don't have to follow the first game. You don't always have to follow the cartoon. And you know what? That's what was getting me about Naruto, the game. But Naruto was a bit different because they'll give you the normal story mode, but then they'll also have side quests. You know, like side stories, like last month just came out, like you did like Agara, whatever, like after the war and stuff, and then you did Shikamaru, just different stuff like that.
You're more interested in like the RPG parts. Me, I was kind of okay with all that. It's just I did like how they kept changing mechanics, combat mechanics over time with the games, with each different Dragon Ball Z game. Even with Naruto, I remember back when Naruto was like a second person combat before they switched to like a third person point of view.
But what I'm telling you, when it comes to storyline mechanics, I just think they need to be more original. Like, give us something different. Stop giving us the same shit over and over again. You know, if I'm gonna spend my money, let me spend my money getting something different. Everybody don't want to see the same shit all the time. Like, it just frustrates me when I'm gonna spend $60 and then I'm gonna pretty much, I'm supposed to be buying the sequel, but I'm buying the same game. It's something that's already bought.
True. The only bright side about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is that they gave me a couple of free updates going with it. Like, they gave me a couple of characters from Dragon Ball Super. So I got Future Trunks and I got Hit. Now,
In
any
my
other
opinion,
characters
I
from
could
Super,
care less.
they have to be... Any characters from Super, they're are now DLC after these two.
That's my thing. I care less about the new characters. Because when you play the game, you ain't gonna play with them anyway. You trying to develop your character. So what giving me Trunks and Hit gonna do? I ain't never gonna play with them.
Unless they planning on having me learn new abilities from them. Which
I'll take their abilities all day, but like to give me these characters, that's the same thing with Goku. Everybody like Goku, but to be honest with you, if I'm gonna create a new character, the game starts, I gotta create a new character. What's the purpose of playing with Goku? What's the purpose of playing with Vegeta? If I have to develop and build my own character.
pretty much.
They're pretty obsolete now.
Most
it ain't
people
about playing with your favorite character because you gotta develop your own character.
Most people I ran into on there are pretty much either humans or Saiyans. Like
Because
I'll
those
also
are the
run
best races.
Yeah, and I'll run into a good bit of people that play with the Friezas. I hardly see people play with the Majins or the Nameks. Dude.
Because those two are the best races to pick. Because they skills and abilities are diversified. Like you're not just gonna.
They also had to fix some of those race mechanics because some of them were just a little bit broken. Like if you remember back in the first one, if you were a Saiyan, once you go Super Saiyan, you could spam your ultimate repeatedly, especially in a multiplayer. You couldn't do nothing against that. At this point, they fixed that. They also had to do something about the Namekians, because now in this one, they can turn giant. Now, that transformation had to be fixed because they were like nearly impossible to beat. And the only way for you to beat them now is that you just gotta break their stamina bar. Majins were pretty much weak too, because once they ran out of stamina, they were completely vulnerable. You would take extra hits from that. And I am actually glad they fixed that. That really got on my nerves. I mostly see people be messing with the Saiyans and the Frieza race though. Especially transformation-wise, I will see people fooling with the humans just to get the flying Nimbus Cloud and mess people up with the power pole though. Like you will get trapped. I think I saw someone get trapped in a power pole combo with that though. They couldn't get out of that for nothing.
Well, the game could be legit. Like I say, they did do better with the fighting. But overall, I mean, I want to play story mode. I can't, well, you have to play story mode. Just to be able to advance with the other modes anyway.
Yeah, you have to.
So they pretty much bastard sports at me to play some shit I don't want to play because I don't want to watch them remake the story that I know over and over again. So that's one of the reasons why, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't beat the game, I stopped playing it because I don't want to burden myself with playing something that I already beat with the first one, and then also playing something that they just keep spinning the same story. You're taking the same story from the cartoon and changing it. It's not original. Like, I'm tired of playing unoriginal ass shit.
The only things that actually surprised me about the story mode were when they included characters from the movie.
How do you do the special move? I forgot.
Triangle and O.
Okay. I'm just saying, man.
Like, the only things that actually surprised me about that when they included some of the characters from the movies into the original storyline. Like, I'm just sitting there thinking, I don't recall you being here. Like, I'll be there fighting Frieza with Super Saiyan Goku, and then just out of nowhere, Cooler pops up to help. And I'm sitting there processing, where did you come from? Or they'll be like, I'm about to help Vegeta fight Majin Buu, and then Broly pops out of nowhere. Or then Turles and Slug are just going around the place helping other villains. Or I'll just run into Janemba. Honestly, if they do any more DLC, I actually hope they start including characters like Hirudegan and Super Android 13 in there, because that I actually liked. Now, story-wise, it's the same. You just added a few surprises in there. That I give you points for, but all in all, it's still the same story, so you still gotta fix that. But
Get more original.
yeah, pretty much.
Get more original.
And I would have preferred it if I not have Goku come help me again in the story. Because, spoiler alert again, at the end of the story, Goku comes in to help you again. Like in the first one, Goku is optional to come help you. In this one, it is implied that Goku comes help you. I don't want Goku's help. I want to do this by myself. This story is focused on my character. It's not focused on Goku. It's focused on me. I don't need his help. Shoot, they really could have did something more with this, story-wise. But everything else they did pretty good. I do love the expert missions on there though, because they'll just give me some of the regular enemies you fight, but they'll actually have abilities that they don't normally have, and they actually hit like trucks. And who do they hurt? Shoot, I had to fight literally all the Great Apes. I had to fight Great Ape Vegeta, Nappa, Baby, and Bardock, and they all hurt. The ability that threw me off that wasn't none of theirs was they could actually throw nearly the whole entire team into a different dimension. And the only way for them to get out is if the person stuck with the boss would have to either free them, or everyone trapped in the dimension had to fight the enemy in there just to get out. I like that one. There were other enemies that could also do something like mind control, where if you get hit with a mind control attack, someone's got to either free you or you got to free yourself. Meaning, once you're under mind control, you are officially an enemy to the rest of the team, and you have to fight yourself just to free yourself from it, or the team has to beat the absolute crap out of you just to free you from that. There were a couple of other attacks they would do too, like attacks that would break your stamina, or attacks that would trace you out and hit you really badly. Now, the expert mission, I really give them points for. That one was fun. I just wish they had a lot more. They have a good bit of them. I was hoping just for a lot more than 17. 17 is still a good bit though. Their roster is pretty huge though, because they included all the characters. They even included the characters from GT and from some of the movies. They have the fusions Gogeta, regular Super Saiyan, and Gogeta as Super Saiyan 4. They got Metal Cooler in there too. Now, they even had First Form Cell. I don't know why they chose not to include Second Form Cell, but at that point, I'm just like, alright, at least I got almost all the forms. That's better than just getting Perfect Cell by myself.
They're probably going to give you the other cell as DLC or something that you gotta freaking buy.
Yeah, that'll be crap then. Because then that'll make me sit there and think, well then what was the whole point of giving me First Form Cell then? You basically just gave me like you gave me like 3 halves. I mean, not 3 halves. You gave me like 3 quarts of a whole quarter, and you didn't even give me the other part. You didn't give me the other quarter. You just made the whole thing useless. If that even made sense.
Makes a lot of sense. But it might be set up to where they actually have to. It's probably set up to where you gotta win the ability to go the second form.
That'll be even more crap, because then at that case, that was just basically, why didn't you include him in, well, if that was the case, why didn't you include him in story mode? I saw him in story mode, but I didn't get to fight him. You made me fight first form Cell. He actually fights pretty good. He fights better than than final form Cell. He actually does.
Well, you also gotta look at it like this too. They was rushing the story too, skipping certain stuff.
I know that when you're making a game, you are put on a certain time limit. And if you're gonna include it as DLC...
Actually, they are. Because if you ever notice, they Dragon Ball Z drop the same month every year.
Yeah.
So, they working on their DLC, and then at the same time they work... Yeah.